Zen Mystery TV, and we are here at Zen Mystery, the spiritual center, meditation center, and tea house. And we got a couple interesting topics for the day, as well as a little experimentation with the GoPro. This is Dennis Sukhanov, one of the owners. He's trying hard not to turn towards me because we're sitting pretty close together.
With GoPro, we gotta be very close to shoot.
To make it interesting.
Don't look at each
We're not
other.
too far.
Very, very intimate shot.
Maybe we will. Yes. So, and I'm Carlos Sandono, the Tai Chi meditation instructor. And so we've got a couple interesting things. What do you have on your agenda there?
And my agenda, I have my little notes. But,
Yeah.
no cheating. Don't look at it.
Just a little bit.
So the article that I was gonna write, actually, by the time the show comes out, the article is gonna be out.
Okay.
So I was reading something by Osho and kind of struck me, and I realized that's what I do, and I want to write an article about it because I want to share it with people. The article is how to turn your exercise routine, in particular running or jogging, into meditation.
This was what you were so secretive about.
Yeah, I didn't want to show it to you and that's why I don't.
I run a little bit, and I was probably
So the key, right? The main important part is to this whole running into meditation, right? Is not to be a professional. Don't be a professional. Don't turn as a professional. Basically, you gotta run like a child. This is gonna be the most important part. Is just enjoy. Is basically what you want to do is you want to go for a walk and see how your body feels, and then let the body guide you into a running. If the body wants to run, running. So basically, that's how you want to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Second part would be is go do it in nature. If you can, do it in a more natural environment. Don't do it in if you're in the city, find a park, trees. If you don't have a park, find a street with more trees. Do it that way. Number 3 would be no technology. Okay, leave your phone behind. All the apps, running apps, all this stuff. Again, this is not an exercise. This is not. We're combining things here. We're combining exercise and meditation, and the meditation most important. So no technology. Lose it. EMFs or whatever. You don't want to be exposed to that.
Okay.
So number 3 would be you want to drop any old ideas of meditation. We have all preconceived notion. You got to sit under a tree and meditate in the cross-legged position. I can't get into a cross-legged position, a lotus position to save my life. So running is kind of awesome. Run, enjoy, and actually share what I do at the end. But right now we're going to tips and tricks here. So if you can, it would be run by the water source. Very relaxing. It really gets you in the mood, especially if it's an ocean. Ocean would be your it's what it does. The waves will kind of help you to cleanse your mind and kind of calm it down before you kind of can really get into it. Right? That'd be great. If you don't have a body of water, it's okay. There's different natural environments, and they have different effects, and it'll work.
And you are a body of water.
And we are
There's
70% of water. Yeah, if you got nothing, you got pavement. It's all getting deep inside, and calming your mind, right? So if you can, now
diving deep.
We're gonna step it up a bit. If you can, run barefoot. Okay, pavement barefoot, maybe not a very hygienic idea, but if you're in a natural environment, try walking barefoot if the ground allows. Maybe running. I run along the beach, so that's a really great way to do it. So that's. So let's see what else we missed. Did we?
It's like almost like a spiritual dating website thing. I run along the beach, meditating, like instead of long walks along the beach. I don't know.
What I do is I set a date with myself. I set a date with myself, and I go for a little beautiful walk. We hold hands together. We hold hands together, and then if we feel like it, we go for a little run together, and then see how it works. And today I went, and the sand was really soft. It was very struggling to
phenomenal workout though.
Well, it was quite a workout. So it was I crawled back home basically. So that was So that's my story of the day. So I wanted to share. So that's
One thing, what do you think of like easing into it somehow? Because I know that a lot of people will have their habits. I mean, first of all, trying to build a running kind of like routine in and of itself is kind of tough. I know I have a nice park. I have Forest Ridge around where I live, and they have the lake and everything. But I definitely like to listen to my music, and or do what I do. But I still manage. There's a book called Chi Running that it actually reminds me of.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of the things that rung a bell a lot. You're talking about running like a child, and they do talk about running. That children run with a very natural kind of gait. It's very relaxed, and all their muscles and their skeletal structure seems to kind of like move in on itself in a very natural way. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of good things there. That's good.
Yeah, ease into it. That's why I said start with a stroll. Try to walk and see how you feel. Feel body of water there.
What about
Put your
observing
toes-
the breath? Do you find that grounds you? That
Oh
roots
yeah,
you
I
too?
forgot. That's the very important part. I forgot to actually mention is that you cannot run so fast that you cannot breathe naturally.
Hmm.
So if you start getting out of breath, it means you're not doing it right.
Hmm.
Well, it's not a right word. Basically,
It's not optimal. It's probably not optimal, but I think probably even so, like running like if you're gonna run either barefoot or at least have not so hard a surface, running along the grass I've found is really helpful whenever possible. You have the sand along the beach, which is always really good.
It has an amazing grounding effect. That's why barefoot is kind of has a key important. Once your feet touches the ground natural, it calms the mind. They now call it. Now the scientists are coming around and they call it earthing. Kind of walk around barefoot, and then you can bring that walking into running. You don't have to run, so it could be walking, it could be running, it could be swimming. I try to I combine them all. I start with a walk and then let my body see when it wants to run. And then I start running, and when I feel like it wants to stop, I stop. On the way back, I see if I want to jump in the water, I do. Today, the body wants to get in the water. It's too much seaweed. And my mind says, nah, don't want to get in
So
the
you jumped
seaweed.
in anyways because your body wanted to go in, huh?
No, I chickened out. I chickened out about it.
What about for the people that live in the middle of the country and don't have access to a beach, or the people who live in areas where it snows? What do you do for that?
Snow is water.
I think you're screwed. Personally. No, honestly. Then we go on to my part of the story.
Okay.
My part of the story for the day. No. Honestly, I think it probably have to do with. Probably would have to do with like finding whatever it is that you do have,
Your own backyard.
and make your own practice.
a
Make your own
park.
practice. Yeah. The moment is to. I think the idea is to be in motion, to be rooted in nature, and to observe the breath and enter into kind of harmony with the self, and not so much moving out of yourself and just mindlessly kind of leaving, but going back and rooting and grounding. So I think that my response would be that.
Yeah, I would. The whole idea is that's why no technology is. This way you start observing yourself better. This way you don't get caught up in the music. The whole idea is like everybody exercises, the music, any kind of exercise, you gotta have music on. You kind of want to get away. It's like an escapist kind of routine, and meanwhile get a little cardio. So move away from it. It doesn't have to be all at once. We give you like 8 steps, so you can backpedal, start 1, 2, kind of slowly, and see what you can do.
Consider it a little experiment, yeah. Now,
I mean, it works. I mean, it feels amazing. After a nice run, jumping in the water, it feels really good. Then it's winter. I personally come from a really cold climate. Walking running in the really remote areas where it's snow, it's very zen. It's fascinating. You look at the snow, you run. Oh, there's sunfall, kind of on the snow. It's amazing.
if you're a woman, just make sure you have a taser on you. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. Really beautiful, but have a taser on you.
or a spray.
That's always nice.
Maybe
Okay.
Spray can get back at you. I mean, for that matter, you could probably electrocute yourself too.
Maybe
For
GPS,
whatever.
Just in case you get lost in the woods.
Yeah, meditatively, just wandering off and you know.
Okay, I guess you might need a backup cell phone. Maybe not a smartphone, maybe a regular cell phone. That's okay. So next story.
Okay, next story. What we're looking at, as far as my part of today, has to do with some fascinating research being done by Professor Kelly McDonald. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to look at this carefully. I keep on wanting to call her McDougal, and I don't think that McDougal is right. I'm gonna go back into it here real quick, and I'm gonna just read her introduction. Is Kelly McGonigal. It's psychologist Kelly McGonigal from Stanford University, and she's one of the leaders in a growing field called science help. It's you'd call it like a scientific approach to self-help. It's very interesting what she's doing. She's actually recently come out with a book called The Willpower Instinct, and it has to do with psychological research into how willpower works, really, and a lot of psychological tricks to actually increase your willpower, to get yourself to make the changes, like introduce yourself to things like chi running if you do have like a basic meditation practice, or maybe you want to even just instill that kind of meditation practice in your life, the ability to do that. But the most interesting thing that she's done lately, that she's going to come out with a book that has to do with stress. And this is fascinating to me, and I think probably to a lot of people that teach either yoga, meditation, a lot of things out there, because what we're looking at is that she did some research into stress. And what she began, and actually where I got this idea, was from a TED Talk that was just recently posted from her. It was talking about how to make stress your ally. And that's a very curious title. What it has to do with the fact that she found in her research that, and this is a very interesting observation and of course, result, which kind of shocked her, that over, I think, 20 years, a group of people that took a questionnaire that believed that stress was bad for them, were put aside and were tested alongside people that believed that stress was good for them. And whether or not they meditated, they exercised, whatever it is that they did, they found that the incidence of people that no matter what they really did in their lives or whatever practice they had, they found an incidence of people dying a lot earlier in their lives from stress-related types of or diseases that had to do or were gauged a lot of times by stress, by a higher degree. So we were looking at people that believe that stress is bad. You need to watch out for stress. What can you do to de-stress? And all this kind of thing, and all that obsession with getting rid of stress.
So you're stressing out about stress.
They're stressing out about stress, and who knows to what degree their practices had deepened or not. But statistically speaking, the attitude towards stress was apparently the major culprit, if anything, in these people's lives. So she started with an apology, because she, as a psychologist, and all the research she'd been doing, especially into mindfulness and all kinds of meditation and different things, is that you need to get rid of stress. Stress is the enemy. And meanwhile, she's kind of reading and talking about this. She's creating more of a problem in a sense. And this is a very interesting thing when it comes to the meditative observation of what it is that's happening when you're living your life. If you stress about stress and you're trying to get rid of stress, and it's always that type of approach to like either yoga, tai chi, meditation, this whole idea that you're going to approach the pool of water, which is your mind, and it's all dusty and the bottom's been kicked up, and you're actually work as hard as you can to pat down all that cloudy water. And although you're paying attention to your meditation, you're paying attention to your yoga, you're paying attention to your tai chi, but you're really trying to hammer down all that sand, although you've done the work for whatever hour that it is, you've really been counterbalancing the entire work. You may be getting a good workout, you may be getting some endorphins going, but what her research points out is that the non-judgment of what it is that's happening internally and the observation of the breath, that side of meditation once again starts to take much more of like move more towards the forefront. And I think where this whole acceptance of stress, the people that accepted the regular stressors of life from kids to work to whatever their situation was, and saw that as a challenge, and saw whatever it is that they did as practice as a way of approaching their lives and a way of approaching stress with simply more gusto, with more well equipped to be creative, to problem solve, to not approach it with a sense of dread or how it is that they're going on or what's going on or a sense of complaint, but a sense of full acceptance. And I think that was pretty remarkable.
I think it points to that stress is not an enemy. It's really it's not a main cause. It's like it's a symptom. If you approach stress as a main problem, then you're not gonna get to the bottom of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you accept stress as is, accept it as a symptom, and it's not what you need to concentrate on.
Mm-hmm. You can look at me. I won't kiss you. Okay.
My neck doesn't turn. That's the other problem.
It's an interesting thing when you see the stressor coming up and you're saying, oh, I'm stressed, I need to like calm that stress, rather than going to why it is that you're stressed and attacking maybe the things that you're avoiding, what you're procrastinating on, and
Attacking?
Well, I would say yes. I've got this kind of mentality, warrior mentality. You're going to attack it. Even I'm gonna relax that stress, Well, and going at and observing and understanding, breaking down, because one thing or another, that's kind of using the mind to cut to the chase, to cut to the heart of what it is that's going on or the issue that's going on.
I like a quote I heard. It was amazing. They mentioned as you're like, I'm going to stop my mind. I'm going to stop it. And this meditation teacher said, if you didn't start it, you cannot stop. And they're like, okay. Then you get like, what do I do? Well, if you observe it, it calms down.
Which is exactly where I was getting at with the idea of the pool of water. The more you're looking at your mind and seeing that it's kicked up and you're trying to press on it, it's just going to kick up some more stuff. And I think we're going to have some company in just a moment.
Yeah, I think there are people coming.
But we're locked up. But I think this wraps up exactly what it is we've been working with. We're going to have some links with.
I wanted to share. We're going to have all the links, but I want to share the CD I've been playing all week here at Zen Mystery because I cannot. It's awesome.
Oh, and they're coming here.
And they're coming to town on the 20th and 29th. So I hope
you
want to see them. So Deva Primal in Miten and Manus. And then who else? Oh, there's some special guests there. And then we will the song that I want to highlight that I like a lot is Om Trimbakam Mantra. It's amazing. I just want to play it all
Om
the time.
Trimbakam Mantra.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful song. So it's amazing. So I think we're gonna wrap it up. You want to wrap up the show?
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us at Zen Mystery TV, and with our third episode and our little GoPro adventure, we've got
Dennis Suhanov of Zen Mystery and
Carlos Londono, and we've got for today, we had for today, the meditative running and the work of Kelly McDougal, and I probably said that wrong, you'll see it, and I'll have a little link to her TED Talk and her page, which is pretty wonderful.
And so check us on zenmystery.com and
Emerald Med Arts, we'll find some stuff there as well.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Adios, amigos.
Bye-bye.